Over 500,000 Facebook user data records were exposed, how to scan Wi-Fi to find a hidden camera in an Airbnb, and Facebook was asking for your email password. All that coming up now on ThreatWire. Greetings! I am Shannon Morris and this is ThreatWire for April 9, 2019, your summary of the threats to our security, privacy, and internet freedom. Real quick, I would like to give a special shout out to my newest Patreon supporters this week, including Timmy Doomsday, Speed Bump, William Thunder Beaver, and NP. I would also like to say thank you to everyone who contributes to my content on my alternative platforms. If you're not a big fan of Patreon, but you want to support ThreatWire, hit up my website, snubsy.com/support. For a bunch of different ways that you can support my free content. I'll put that link down in the show notes, and of course, if you are interested in supporting ThreatWire over on Patreon, hit up patreon.com/ThreatWire. And now, on to the news. A cybersecurity firm called UpGuard reported last week that they found hundreds of gigabytes of Facebook user data being stored on a publicly accessible server by a third-party company. They actually found two third-party developed Facebook app datasets that were exposed, both of which were stored on Amazon S3 buckets. This is not the first time we've heard a story like this. Cultura Colectiva, a Mexico-based media company, had one of these datasets with 146 gigabytes of data and over 540 million records of Facebook interaction, such as comments, likes, account names, Facebook user IDs, and a lot more. The second was a dataset from an app called At the Pool, which was storing user IDs, friends lists, likes, events, check-ins, groups, interests, passwords, and a lot more. Now, UpGuard believes that the password dataset probably relates to the application password, not the Facebook password, for those user accounts. All of the At the Pool passwords were plain text and account for 22,000 users. Now, while the At the Pool company is no longer in operation, the second dataset was left online for years. According to UpGuard, Cultura Colectiva has not responded to their emails about the exposed data. UpGuard sent two emails in January, one on the 10th and another on the 14th, with no response. Amazon Web Services was notified on January 28th, and AWS also sent Cultura Colectiva a message on February 1st. On February 21st, UpGuard again contacted AWS about the issue as it was still up. It was not finally secured until April 3rd when Bloomberg contacted Facebook about it. At the Pool's dataset was secured before UpGuard contacted them. Now, this is all pretty concerning for Facebook users because the data reaches so far onto the web that it's there forever because Facebook had a policy allowing this before the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which we also reported on. Third parties are responsible for securing data from Facebook, but it's unknown whether either of these companies would be held liable for those leaks of exposed data. This week's Patreon top story is all about spy cams. Airbnbs, inexpensive world travel, or creepy spy cams galore? In the case of a family from New Zealand who was on holiday in Ireland, creepy spy cams galore. Now, upon unpacking, one of the family members staying in the Airbnb, his name is Andrew Barker, decided to scan the house's Wi-Fi network, where he found an IP of an undisclosed camera. He was able to pull up a live feed of the camera, which, from the angle of the view, he found to be hidden in a ceiling corner in the living room. He proceeded to take a photo of the camera, and he also snapped a family selfie photo from the live feed, with another family member posting both of those on Facebook. Now, Barker used Android phone apps to do the network and port scans of the house Wi-Fi. He noticed that port 80 was open, which he was able to automatically connect to via the live feed. The stream did not require any kind of authentication, and it was located on the same network that they had access to. Upon discovery, the family used tissue to hide the lens, and they later moved to a hotel. The Airbnb host stated to CNN that this was the only camera in the house. It's not certain what it was used for though, recording, live monitoring, or if the audio was also being monitored. Family member Neely Barker reported this to Airbnb, who considered it a canceled booking. They suspended the listing, but they later reinstated the host. During that time, the family claimed to receive several messages from other guests of this Airbnb who were staying at the house during its suspension. The host did not get banned until the family took the posting onto Facebook, at which time the story kind of blew up. The family received a refund and an apology from Airbnb. Now, Airbnb has a policy about surveillance devices. They must be disclosed even if not in use. Cameras are allowed if disclosed, but not in personal private spaces like bedrooms or bathrooms. If disclosed after a booking is made, the guest can cancel with a full refund. Now, hidden cameras, if on another network or not connected, will not show up on a local network scanner, but they can still be discoverable using lights to reflect the lens, infrared scanners, RF detectors, and thermal imagers. And if you have found a hidden camera in not just an Airbnb but other type of rentals, contact law enforcement or the company in question immediately. Before we hit story number 3, I wanted to say thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. If you are interested in getting access to a whole bunch of extra perks and extras, even if it's just $1 or $2 a month, hit that button to become a Patreon supporter, because it all helps and it shows me that you appreciate the work that I'm putting in for this show. And also a big thank you to my Hush Puppy perk level patrons for sending in their fur baby photos. I love them. Keep them coming. According to an article by the Daily Beast, Facebook was asking some new users for their email address passwords before they could verify their new accounts. Yes, I am completely serious with this. Some users were shown a page on Facebook.com that stated, "To continue using Facebook, you will need to confirm your email. Since you signed up with your email address, you can do this automatically through the email address domain." Then a text box that says email password is shown, and a blue button saying connect to the email address domain is clicked to verify your account. Alternatively, a user can click that teeny tiny little need help prompt in the bottom corner to bypass the password authentication with either a one-time code sent to your phone or your email address. Facebook claims that they will not store your passwords and that this is strictly for verification of new users if the sign-up is suspicious. But just 2 weeks ago, Facebook also reported that they were storing millions of user passwords incorrectly on an internal server. Users that use web-based hosting services that use the OAuth protocol, such as Google's Gmail, were not given this prompt. After this news went live, Facebook stated to many outlets that they will be ending the email password verification process. Now, it should go without saying, but never, ever give your email address password out to third parties, especially not social network companies. The page that they were directing users to honestly kind of looks like a phishing attempt. The only time you should be typing in that password is when you are actually directly logging into your email account. And with that, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Shannon Morse, and I will see you on the internet.